观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎大家收看水库的霍格沃茨之遗的游戏视频啊！今天是第2期啊，上一期咱们经过了非常惊险的探险啊，来到了霍格沃茨，而这一期呢，咱们是正式来到了这个学校的内部啊。然后咱们的主角呢是有一个可以跟古代魔法共鸣的这么一个特质啊，所以说算是万里挑一的人选啊。然后本期呢，咱们主要是来做一下主线啊。游戏的流程非常之长。然后上一期我说过，咱们最好是选择女性的角色啊。当然，如果你要是选这个男性角色，在最终性别的选择上，你选择女巫啊也是没有问题的，因为女性角色可以畅通的这个浏览啊，就是探索每一个这个城堡的基本上每一个地方啊。当然，其他学院你是进不去的啊，这个没有办法。然后接着咱们是来到了这个斯莱特林的大厅。这个每一个学院都有一个专属的学院任务啊。如果大家都想体验一下，那只能开这个4个档。然后刚才咱们是从女寝出来啊，这上面应该就是男寝啊。我不知道，我这个档是自己第一次啊来这个用斯莱特林来通关的啊。我的自己的档是这个格兰芬多。然后这边是有一些可以互动的东西啊，比如说苹果什么的，不过无关紧要啊。还有一些这个箱子啊，有的是上锁的，需要咱们后期解锁更多的魔咒来进行这个学习啊。虽然这个故事的整个时间线在19世纪初啊，没有咱们原著中熟悉的角色，但是会有熟悉的姓氏啊，比如说上一期出现的布莱克校长。菲尼亚斯·布莱克校长啊，在原著中是有他的啊，他是小天狼星的曾曾祖父，也是历史上霍格沃茨历史上最不受欢迎的校长。大家应该也能看出来啊，包括咱们的这个副校长啊，威斯莱，那就是罗恩的祖先啊。接着咱们来到公共休息室啊。这里需要咱们跟3位人啊对一下话啊，3位 NPC， 这3个 NPC 在主线中也是比较重要的角色啊。首先跟第1位塞巴斯蒂安。
That is not helpful. Can I help you? Ah, you're the new 5th year. I'm Sebastian Sallow. Welcome to Slytherin.
Thank you.
Not everyone has a ministry escort to school.
He was a friend of Professor Fig's who merely joined us for the ride.
Still, impressive. Dreadful way to go, poor fellow. Glad you and Fig are all right.
Professor Fig and I were lucky to escape with our lives.
Indeed. And how did you escape?
It's all still a bit of a blur, to be honest.
Didn't mean to press. You just get yourself settled. We can talk more later.
What book were you reading?
A spell book I picked up. Has a few interesting things, but not exactly what I was looking for. I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. But not every spell you may need can be found in our assigned textbooks.
Are you saying some spells aren't taught at Hogwarts? Which ones?
Seems I may have met a kindred spirit. That is a conversation for another time. It was good meeting you. Good luck today.
忘了跟大家说啊，这其中3位要对话的 NPC 的最后一位也是伏地魔的祖先啊，因为他姓冈特，冈特家族。下面跟第2位 NPC 来对话。
Ugh, not going to move there, are you?
Here, watch this.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Checkmate.
Told you. They should have listened to me. Ah, I know who you are. You're the new Slytherin, the one who barged in with Professor Fig last night. Interesting tactic on your first day, taking all the attention away from the first years. I'm Imelda, by the way. Shame I wasn't with you in Fig. I could have lured that dragon away. My skills on a broom are legendary.
Perhaps Professor Fig's friend would have survived if we'd had your help.
Precisely. Perhaps one of these days I'll show you a thing or two about flying. I can teach you more than Kogawa ever could. Speaking of which, I'd like to get in some time on my broom before classes.
Are you a keen Wizard chess fan? You knew that boy was going to lose the match.
Not really. Much too sedate a pastime for me. Also, it's simply not that challenging. The moves are always so obvious. Why does no one else see it?
Do you have a lot of time to fly during school?
I make the time. There's nothing like swerving through the spires of the castle and around the Quidditch pitch to clear the mind.
Goodbye, Imelda.
Nice meeting you.
他会给我们提供之后飞天扫帚的一些支线啊。
I think I heard one. Doubt mermaids find us that interesting. Ah, based on all the chatter when you entered the common room, I'm guessing you're the new 5th year. I'm Ominous. Ominous Gaunt.
Nice to meet you, Ominous.
Well, you certainly had a memorable arrival.
I'd much rather have arrived on time and without a dragon attack en route.
I'm sure. How horrible. I can only imagine. Well, it's good to have you in Slytherin. Do let me know if I can be of any help as you navigate your first days here.
Were you expecting to be sorted into Slytherin?
Most certainly. My family on my father's side are direct descendants of Salazar Slytherin, one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts. Not something I'm especially proud of, mind you. He was obsessed with blood status, a pure-blood maniac. Unfortunately, most of his descendants do not fall far from that tree.
Did that student say he thought he heard a mermaid?
Yes, but I've never heard of a mermaid showing up outside our common room window. It is fun to play along, though. Been known to keep some first years on the lookout for hours.
Thank you, Ominous. Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure was all mine. Don't be a stranger.
Is the new 5th year Slytherin in here? Professor Weasley's waiting for you just by the stairs.
哎，跟3位同学说完话呢，这个威斯莱副校长就会在这个公共休息室的门口等着我们啊，给咱们介绍一下校内的环境。游戏的任务指引做的还是不错的啊，虽然我是路痴，但是根据地图的指引，咱们还是很快能找到正确的方向的。
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a 5th year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a 5th year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test. This way.
接下来跟着这个维斯莱副校长啊，
I certainly would have
来转一圈。
appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. Do keep up. Why don't you cast Revelio on that statue and see what details the field guide can provide?
Revelio.
哎，咱们在这个有虚影的地方用一下这个显形咒，会有非常多的这种指南书页啊，比如说这一幅啊是水妖雕像，然后他把尼斯湖水怪啊就比作了这个水妖啊，在咱们现实世界结合魔法世界啊，有一种很新奇的感觉。然后接着咱们可以按这个手柄的 Option 键打开实战指南，这个 UI 界面做的还是不错的啊。通过收集这些书页，可以提高咱们的经验啊，经验越高，咱们的这个属性也就越高。这是一个 RPG 游戏啊。接着咱们的这个挑战啊，可以看一下啊，其中包括书页探索任务、战斗，还有这个有求必应屋。哎，这边就是指这个咱们收集2份实战指南书页，就可以拿到1份外观奖励啊。很多的挑战啊，游戏这个体量非常大，然后咱们也就做不了全收集了，因为实在是太多了。总的来说是一个罐头的开放世界啊。
Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
哎，咱们斯莱特林走进这个门就会出现了。其他学院的学生走到这儿就什么都不会发生啊。然后走到前面，拐角有一个宝箱啊，里边是一瓶药水，哎，补血的。
Ah, good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
游戏中是为了这个方便玩家进行游玩呢，它是加了一个飞鹿之焰，也就是原作中的飞鹿粉。然后整个城堡分为几大区域啊，这个天文学区中塔区，这个就是每一个城堡的区域是有一个小旗子啊，点完旗子之后，这里已经解锁的飞鹿之焰就会显示出来为绿色啊，没有解锁的是灰色。按理说咱们是没办法在这个学校里边用飞鹿粉进行旅行的，但是这是游戏啊，方便咱们来回进行传送探索。然后接着咱们按照要求选择图书馆区域啊，已经解锁了主厅，咱们就按照方法直接传送过去啊，按这个方块。
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall. You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive, our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become Aurors. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Heckert in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain, and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
接下来咱们要求跟费格教授对话，但是先不要着急，来到这个喷泉的另一边，用显形咒，会解锁这个喷泉的实战书页啊，指南书页啊。这里还原霍格沃兹可以说是基本上是完全还原了啊。然后同时咱们也解锁了刚才挑战所说的这个探索2个这个指南书页，就可以解锁一个外观啊。咱们必须得进去啊，领取奖励，这个外观才可以解锁啊。然后下一项就是探索更多的书页啊。然后咱们先不要管啊，跟这个菲格教授对话。
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
I did my best, but I'm fairly certain she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
接下来咱们就已经解锁了这个游戏中的主线任务啊。主线任务在打开地图之后，会在图标以黄色为图标，然后灰色是支线啊。然后主线任务会有一定的要求，有的时候没有达到等级，或者说没有学到相应的这个咒语，它是不会解锁的啊。一个魔咒，一个黑魔法防御，咱们随便选一个。
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
这边咱们刚才追踪了这个魔咒课的这个任务啊，然后按方向的上键会有一个路线指引，但其实不用这个指引也是可以的，因为左下角的这个地图会直接显示出来咱们所需要去到地方的路线啊，跟着这个左下角黄点走就可以啊。即使 PS5 它这个加载速度很快啊，它这个场景加载有的时候还是需要一定时间啊。刚才在门那块儿就卡了一下啊。接着给大家提2点建议啊，在游玩这个游戏的时候，首先不要着急去探索啊，因为这个探索的东西实在是太多了，而且很多需要咱们额外的咒语或者说能力，所以前期如果大家太执迷于探索的话，很多谜题是解不开的啊。优先主线，一定要优先主线啊。
Revelio.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
这就要学习来到霍格沃茨第一个咒语啊，飞来咒。这个在原著中也是有的。
Accio.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me. I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree, So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off? Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. The trick is to pull the sphere as far as possible, but not a bit more, or it'll fall, yes? Now, I could keep talking about theory all day, but practice is the best professor. Show us how it's done.
哎，这个飞来咒现在是咱们需要按 R2 加方块来进行触发。它这个球如果咱们一直摁住 R2 的话，它会一直吸附啊，直到这个咱们松开 R2 为止。所以说要拿满分的话，建议大家在这个球到这个黄色的那一格，也就是20分那一格的时候松开 R2，哎，这样的话它就会正好停在50分这个区间内。
Very good. Points to Slytherin. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
下面就要进行 PK 了啊，跟刚才咱们的同桌进行 PK。他是红色的球，他先来。AI 这个其实水平还是蛮高的啊。不过结果是随机性的，这里咱们赢了或者是输了，都无所谓啊。然后这个拉球的这个游戏呢，在后期也是一个比较重要的支线啊，会给一些奖励，而且随着等级会越来越高啊。这里只是2个啊，给咱们安排了一个 NPC 跟咱们进行 PK 啊。这里赢了输了倒是都无所谓啊，但是支线里边大家最好就能打败是最好的啊。然后记住啊，这个球最后的落点啊，不是你最终的得分啊，有的时候那个 NPC 会拉球撞到你的球，甚至会把你的球撞出这个上面的平台啊，落到地板上啊，这个时候你那个球最后的计分是0啊，所以整个计分是以整局游戏结束之后球的落点来计算得分的啊。这里咱们是150分。
Remarkable. Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
这是第2场较量啊，第2场较量会加一些障碍物，包括后面这个支线任务啊，等级越高，它加的这个障碍物就越多。怎么说呢？如果大家仔细的去游玩，或者说该探索的都探索了，熟练运用了这个飞来咒的话，还是想获胜还是不是那么难的啊。然后这块咱们就要注意，不要被这个2个移动的木箱子把咱们的球给撞出去啊！最好是挑它这个有空档的时机，咱们再拉啊。还是总的这个万变不离其宗啊，这个总的技巧是不变的，就是在球一到黄格的那个区间内，咱们松开这个 R2，这个球就会依靠惯性，最后落在50分这个区域啊。这是咱们拿最高分的一个小技巧啊，但是有的时候需要避开一些障碍物啊，比如说像 NPC 的球啊，或者说等到后期这个平台上的一些障碍物啊，咱们需要换着不同的方位把这个球拉过来啊，避免碰到这个障碍物。一旦碰到障碍物，后面就不是咱们能控制得了的。他这里是拿了3个30分啊，总分是90。咱们最后这个球也是稍微等一下，最好是让球走直线，这样方便咱们做判断啊。
2 perfect rounds. You're a natural. Very good, both of you. Well done. Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Good game back there. I must admit, I think I underestimated you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Ouagadougou just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Is Ouagadougou much bigger than Hogwarts?
Ouagadougou School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
Is Ouagadougou a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Ouagadougou uses one.
You can cast spells without a wand?
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Ouagadougou, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
这个叫欧奈的学生怎么一股瓦坎达的味道啊？说话。
A word, if you would.
Well, you'd be using it on clothing.
啊，接着找这个罗南教授继续对一下话，跟他对完话，这个任务才算完成啊。
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Revelio.
这样的话，魔兽课咱们就完成了，也升到了2级，加了15的生命啊。
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
Hello. You wanted to speak to me?
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day's going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
这个时候，咱们的主线就只剩下黑魔法防御课啊。咱们打开这个任务栏，然后直接点一下追踪，哎，插式追踪啊。这样的话，咱们就又显示出来这个路径啊。这里咱们就接着用一下方向键的上键啊，会指引这个路径。之后我可能就不用了，因为我自己也不太习惯用这个。啊，还是看这个地图的路线走比较省事儿。然后接着，大家应该也注意到了，游戏中会有很多的这个对话选项啊，这个大家随便选啊，基本上不会改变游戏的结局，或者说游戏的流程啊，是不会有所改变的。看大家按大家自己心里的意愿选择是没有问题的。
Is that all you've got?
Levioso!
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
哎，这个漂浮咒呢，其实整句是 Wingardium Leviosa， 但是这里是分成了2个级别，这是最初级的这个漂浮咒啊。
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let
学
us
会了
begin
漂浮咒
with
之
the
后
basic cast.
是一个算是假人练习。哎，在敌人有黄色护盾的时候，咱们是没办法把他的护盾打破，对他造成伤害的，所以需要拿对应的颜色，比如说漂浮咒就是黄色啊，让敌人破盾，然后咱们的基础魔法也就是普通攻击，才能给敌人造成伤害。
Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
啊，接下来是对决，咱们的对手是刚才咱们对话过的塞巴斯蒂安啊。 咱们也需要熟练运用这个盔甲护身，哎，包括这个孤魂倒地，来弹反他的攻击，然后用漂浮咒破他的盾，把他打下这个高台，就算胜利了啊。
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Slytherin.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments.
课程结束之后，哎，咱们来到这个黑魔法防御术的这个楼梯上啊。 这个教室的楼梯上，上面有一个巨大的骨骼雕像，哎，这个也是100%还原啊！在游戏啊，在电影中，这就有这个巨大的骨骼雕像啊，而这个骨骼雕像就是给咱们上课的刚才那位赫卡特的老师，哎，这个搜集到的啊，他也是一个狠角色，原来也在魔法部上过班，然后最后咱们再来和塞巴斯蒂安交谈。
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? Felt more like I was dueling an expert. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance, if you're interested. Till next time.
好的，那么本期视频到这里差不多就结束了，感谢大家的收看，希望对大家的通关有所帮助，记得点赞关注啊！下一期咱们来做一些支线任务以及课后作业啊，那么咱们下期再见，大家拜拜。
How nice to see you, my young